But the Chief of Defense Staff of the Ghana Armed Forces, Vice Admiral Seth Amama, the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Dampari, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Frank Hansen, the Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Issa Adam Yakubu, the representative of the Chief of Army Staff, and also the General Officer commanding the Southern Command, Chiefs of Navies and Air Forces from across the world, the Chief of Staff, the Ghana Armed Forces General Headquarters, Generals present, past and present, distinguished admirals and generals present here, very senior officers of the Ghana Armed Forces, esteemed speakers, delegates, and exhibitors of the International Defense Exhibition and Conference, invited guests, the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of His Excellency, the President of the Republic and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, I take this unique opportunity to extend a warm and enthusiastic welcome to all of you to the opening session of the maiden edition of the International Defense Exhibition and Conference, IDEC 2022. Indeed, it is a real privilege and honor to be in the midst of the several chiefs of the participating countries and international partners, exhibitors and delegates from Africa and across the globe at this important conference. As we are all aware, security issues in the world have grown more complex and dangerous. Therefore, the need to provide appropriate strategies to these complexities as a united force cannot be overemphasized. Distinguished delegates and exhibitors, the global geopolitical divides have continued to deepen. These divides create an environment of impunity in which the state and non-state actors believe today that they can do whatever they want and get away with it. I urge all of us, wherever we find ourselves, to be extremely tactful and cautious that we may aim at reducing the tensions and, of course, tone down the flames, if not put them out completely. Respect for international law, trust building and dialogue are paramount at this time. It is therefore important that we set a collaborative and collective tone to combat the issues plaguing our continent and the world as a whole. It's on this premise that I'm extremely delighted to see all of you, distinguished generals, admirals, air marshals, representatives of our international partners and stakeholders in the defense and maritime security here today. Your presence gives me hope and attests to the importance of the collaboration and cooperation required to deal with pertinent issues regarding the insecurities, especially in the sub-Saharan Africa region. Ladies and gentlemen, as nations seek to readjust and realign themselves in respect of trade, development, and economic growth, transitional crime pose a great challenge to the rule of law, economic and social development, and of course, the protection of human rights and security. These crimes undermine people's quality of life and threaten their human security by limiting access to employment and educational opportunities. They further directly affect the public financing capabilities of states.
Thank you very much. The International Defense Exhibition and Conference is an expansion on the International Maritime Defense Exhibition and Conference, that we have had it for some few years now. This particular event includes the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force, and it is under the auspices of the Chief of the Defense Staff, the General Headquarters, as well as the various services. And it is organized in collaboration with Great Minds Events Limited of Dubai, as well as the Gulf of Guinea Maritime Institute. The purpose is to bring together the defense chiefs in the continent and beyond, in fact globally, as well as experts in the fields that we have enumerated, that is experts in terrorism and transnational organized crime, as well as industry and solution providers, so that they can interact, network, and bring out solutions to deal with these existential threats that we face in our region, that is Africa, and in particular the Sahel and the Sahel region in general. And we are all aware of the southward drift of terrorism from the Sahel towards the coastal states of the Gulf of Guinea. So in order to deal with it, a lot of interventions have been made. But this particular event is very special because it brings together everybody involved in dealing with the situation. That is the operatives, the industry, as well as the experts. So far, I can assess that the purpose has been achieved. We've had very high-profile attendees. We have had ministers of state. We've had chiefs of defense and chiefs of armies, navies, and air forces, as well as delegations from several countries coming. And very, very well organized exhibition that has seen the introduction of solutions that can actually help us to deal with this situation. Solutions that we did not know before have been developed. And what gladdens my heart is the increased participation of local industry in these exhibitions. So it's been a great success in bringing together the defense and security operatives, as well as experts and as well as industry, to interact and then develop technologies and solutions to our problems. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost at the end of the International Defense Exhibition and Conference. This is the third iteration, working together with Great Minds event planners. We held the first event in 2019 when I was Chief of the Navy, and it was also part of the celebration of the Ghana Navy 60th anniversary celebration. That was the first event. And then 2 years later, a second event was also held, this time with the Ghana Navy and the Ghana Air Force, also in partnership with Great Minds event. And at that second event, I happened to be the guest of honor as Chief of Defense Staff for the closing ceremony. And I remarked, I wished and prayed that we would have an event that will carry the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force, all three. And so here we are today with the first event of this nature, International Defense Exhibition and Conference, the maiden edition that involves all the three services. To me, it has been highly successful and very impactful, judging from all accounts and from comments that have been expressed by various participants, VIPs, and exhibitors. The theme is strengthening international collaboration in combating terrorism and other organized crimes. You know that terrorism and other transnational organized crimes cut across several boundaries. And so no single country has the wherewithal to deal or to fight terrorism and transnational organized crime. So it takes a collaborative effort between nations putting their resources together to fight this transnational crime. And that is why we had this exhibition and conference for defense chiefs, service chiefs from across the globe to come and share their thoughts on the strategies to fight terrorism and transnational organized crimes. We also invited exhibitors, producers of various technology to come and showcase the latest technologies in the using to fight terrorism and transnational organized crime. And for me, it has been a huge success. From the various presentations and panel discussions, you have seen panelists sharing their experience in what has transpired in their various countries. And so it is a learning process for individual countries to learn from the experiences of other countries and then apply the methods and strategies in fighting terrorism and transnational organized crime. They will never end up as talk shops. At the end of it, or we'll put a document together as a communique, and the exhibition stands. We have seen people doing brisk business, engaging the manufacturers, not signing contract, but engaging them for future acquisition and procurement. So it is not going to end here. IDEC 22 year International Defense Exhibition and Conference 2022. A conference a day asrafo mpanifo afibiase nyina any womo produce equipment, military hardware, almost be display equipment. Na sani Americano first no sa exhibition we ni ne toso miensa yaye wo Ghana ha na we de esini nyina in terms of participation. We have had about 6 chief of defense staff, 6 chiefs of army, chief of air staff, and then chief of naval staff, and many generals, admirals, and air marshals all attending this exhibition. And no extra how important our exhibition are here. But exhibition akoye ma te say obia eni aje ho ye sua enema pi fin say womo mu fi amama nyina bai no omo be share omo sua hu e wo se na esi ekon terrorism and transnational organized crime, and it has created a forum for young to learn. You be yeah addition a free amamaya the fight against terrorism. It has been very well. Thank you.